Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Immaculate, released in 2024. Immaculate is a religious horror film that could be considered nunsploitation, which, yes, is very niche as far as subgenres go, but hey, it exists. This one follows Sister Cecilia, a nun from America who's transferred to a spooky Italian convent with dark secrets. It stars Sydney Sweeney, who auditioned for the role way back in 2014. It was actually her very first callback. The project fell into development hell, but nearly a decade later, Sweeney had fame and clout, thanks to projects like, you know, this one, or this one. Not this one, but eventually this one. Using her pull, she called screenwriter Andrew LaBelle and asked if she could produce the movie for herself. So yeah, this is not a vanity producer title. She really did the damn thing. For the role of director, she tapped Michael Mohan, who she previously worked with on the Netflix series Everything Sucks and the Amazon film The Voyeurs. Together, they updated the script to match her current age. Instead of a high schooler at an all-girls boarding school, they changed her character to a nun at a convent. I heard some skepticism towards Sweeney playing a nun, but as someone who's only seen her in White Lotus, I think she did a great job. And the fact that people doubted she could play a nun is mirrored in the story. Some other characters don't think Cecilia is sincere, based at least partly on her appearance.
You're very sweet. Thank you. I don't mean that as a compliment.
But she proves everyone wrong, and her performance enlivens the theme. This is a story about women being oppressed in a patriarchal system, like literally the patriarchy, like the church. But as Cecilia wakes up to what's happening to her, Sweeney's strength and resolve makes the character extra fun to root for. Still, with a familiar story and a hot new rising star, it'd be easy to mistake this as a generic mainstream scary movie. In some ways it is, like its use of jump scares, some of which I'll include in this kill count. So this is your jump scare warning. That wasn't even a good one. But Immaculate doesn't play its material safe. It's got plenty of weirdness to it that I don't think a lot of viewers would expect. Mohan wanted to balance the film's commercial and artistic sides, aiming for a movie that speaks to this moment in time but doesn't beat you over the head with a message. I think he pulls it off. Plus, at a cool 89 minutes, it's incredibly fast-paced, and it's got some surprisingly gnarly kills. The number of kills in this... God, Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry.
James, oh, glad you're home. Okay, we've got a little bit of an emergency situation, and I'm gonna need you to follow my instructions.
Soren, I'm in the middle of filming a kill count, so...
But there's no time! He's going to kill you!
What? Who's gonna kill me?
Puppet James! I saw it in a vision. He's gonna try and take your scent, because once he gets that, he'll let it wash all over him, and he'll become the real James A. Janice!
What? No, that won't work at all. I've been changing up my scent with a variety of fragrance options.
Come again?
I've been rotating through Vince Camuto Original for Men, Awakened by Toomey, This Is Not a Blue Bottle by Histories des Parfums, and Icon Black by Zier. They're all from today's sponsor, Scentbird. Scentbird is a subscription service that sends you a 30-day supply of a new designer fragrance each month, all chosen by you, by hand, for only $17 a month. It's where I find new staple scents like Vince Camuto Original. Its combo of lavender and nutmeg gives a fresh classic feel that's perfect for date nights. It's also where I experiment with an ever-changing rotation of options, like Awakened by Toomey. That has notes of cedarwood, patchouli, and clary sage that make for a casual, fresh scent perfect for my day-to-day. And the cologne comes in easy-to-transport vials with a built-in lock, so you can pop it in a bag or pocket without worrying about wasting any of that liquid gold.
Oh, I am actually always worried about transporting my cologne. I had this one bottle that had a lid and then I missed. No! I'm telling you there's no time! You're in danger!
And I'm telling you, I'll be fine. If Puppet James, or anyone, wants to try my go-to scents, or find new ones of their own, they can by scanning the QR code or using the link below.
Plus, with our coupon code, 55DEADMEAT, they'll support the channel and get 55% off their first month. That's $8 for the first month.
Fine, but at least let me stand guard for you, okay? I got this.
Sure, just shoot out there, okay?
The number of kills in this movie is none ya business, because it's my business. So let's get to them. The movie begins with a prayer. Sister Mary is asking for strength before she plays a game of Don't Wake Daddy, if Daddy were mommy, because she's a nun. Or, I don't know, maybe this is a game of Operation, Don't Touch the Sides? Whatever it is, she pilfers a ring of keys and runs. Too bad the gates are locked, and there's just too many damn keys on this ring. Who in the hell put all these damn keys on this ring? Probably the sidestepping sister rat, approaching in a foursome like the spooky beetles. Mary tries to squeeze through the opening, but spooky beetles make sure this blackbird won't fly in the dead of night anymore. Ouch! Mary awakens later to a dirt nap being forced upon her. She's locked in a casket as she's buried alive, and I'll go ahead and put her on the count. Awful way to go, but at least it'll smell like a lit match in there, you know? Gotta focus on the positives. A young woman named Cecilia is migrating to Italy to become a nun. It's a long way from home.
Just outside of Detroit, Michigan.
Oh shit, yeah! What up, D-Town? She even said just outside of Detroit, which is exactly what I always say. I grew up in a suburb. I ain't trying to claim cred from the D. She still can't really speak Italian, and plenty of people question why she's doing this, for various reasons.
You're very young to be a nun, aren't you?
But her parish back home just closed due to low attendance, and she won an all-expense paid trip to Our Lady of Sorrows. It's a convent out in the countryside, like way past the sheep, and is such a grand building it bears down upon and dwarfs her immediately upon arrival. She meets the Reverend Mother and a sister named Isabel, who gives her a tour with all the warmth and comfort of a stone pillow.
It's really beautiful.
Yes, it is. Buongiorno, sorelle. And we work hard to keep it that way.
She explains how this place cares for elderly nuns as they shuffle off the mortal plane. It was built over a system of catacombs, but they're off limits, so Cecilia will definitely never ever go down there. While she won't be winning over Isabel anytime soon, Cece does find a friend in Gwen, a punk initiate who smokes cigarettes and actually isn't that into the church. She recently escaped an abusive relationship and just wanted the free room and board.
Wait, so you don't even believe in God?
Of course I do. Life is so cruel. Only a man can be responsible.
Pretty soon, it's ceremony time. Cecilia puts on her finest porcelain doll attire and a sharp black scapular to complete the look. She heads to the chapel to take her vows, where she meets Father Tedeschi in person for the first time. He's the guy who invited her here and covered the costs. Right away, you know his nice guy act is a mirage. I mean, look at him. He's up to some shit. Tedeschi has to translate her vows into English. They mention, like, Jesus brides? What?
Let us rejoice, for the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his brides have made themselves ready.
I thought that dude was a bachelor. In any case, she swears off material possessions and sex, then kisses the cardinal's godfather ring and officially becomes a nun. They have a swanky celebratory dinner with a sweet cross table. Way to theme the decor, I love it. A table formation is a direct reference to Black Narcissus, a 1947 British film that Immaculate used for many visual references. This whole place is an opulent change for Cecilia, who grew up with lesser means. Wonder if she was from downriver like me. She tells Tedeschi what led her to the church, a near-death experience she had when she was 12 and fell into a frozen river.
I remember this sharp pain of cold.
Jesus! Y'all trying to ring jump scare us? She technically died for 7 minutes when it happened, but it was before the movie, so I ain't putting her on the count. Her resurrection instilled a strong faith within her. She believes God saved her life to serve a purpose, and that being a nun is her calling. Tedeschi's backstory isn't quite as dramatic. He used to be a biologist before joining the priesthood. El profesor de ciencia, if you will. While freshening up in the bathroom, Cecilia hears distant crying and tries to follow it. But she's drunk a little too much wine and winds up wandering the winding halls. But she won't whine about it. Not even when she finds a robed sister on the ground whose face is just the color red. She's jump scared by the Mother Superior, who shows her the convent's pride and joy. One of the nails supposedly used to crucify Jesus. It's the OG stigmata. Cece starts hearing holy ghostly whispers and ends up taking a sudden nap. Well, napping when nuns are talking is at least somewhat rude, so she better go confess it to be safe.
I must have drank too much wine and embarrassed myself in front of Mother Superior.
Got that Catholic guilt down bad. Cardinal Merola can't really hear her though, not from the other side of this funhouse confessional booth. Shit, that ain't fun! Cecilia's dragged into a stroby red room with proby red nuns, a modern rendition of Rosemary's Nightmare. They getting they fingies all up in her face! She wakes up from the nun nightmare to find, wait, what in the hereditary is back there? Oh, I guess nothing at all. She brushes off the experience and gets back to life at the convent, no matter how hard it is for her to understand.
What did she say?
Damn girl, how you about to enroll in Italian nun school without speaking Italian? We get a montage that feels a little Wes Anderson with how quirky it is, especially since it's accompanied by a jaunty harpsichord. It ain't all fun and games for Cece though, not when she's got Sister Myers staring at her through the laundry. Oh, also not all that fun when the elderly nuns die, but that is the whole point of this place.
Death is a part of everyday life here.
Izzy told us! One night Cecilia awakens to the most aggressive haircut she's ever had. It's the old patient from earlier who had been creeping while she was sleeping, and when Cecilia leads her back to bed, she notices Bible branding on the soles of her feet. Sydney Sweeney may be a big star now, but she has humble roots in the genre. Her first film role when she was 11 was in the horror comedy ZM ZMD, Zombies of Mass Destruction. As mentioned, her credits also include White Lotus, whose second season featured Italian actress Simona Tabasco, who played Sister Mary from the opening. Cecilia starts to feel ya, unwheel ya, even throwing up over the edge of the tub. At least it wasn't in the tub. Thank God for small miracles. She has to take a urine test, so good thing Sister Myers is there again to scare the piss out of her. Only this time, she's got a red face and a Hitchcock bird? Hey, what the hell's going on around here? She's called into an oppressive meeting with the Olds, who question her about her vows. She promises that she's still a virgin, which doesn't make sense to them. And not just because they watch Euphoria. It's because she's freaking pregnant.
You are with child.
And yet they say her hymen is intact, meaning she's the bearer of a virgin birth. That's worth marking down in her permanent nun record, and given a little fanfare on the soundtrack. The convent declares it a miracle right then and there, and Cecilia is made into their very own Virgin Mary. Damn, it comes with that sweet-ass outfit? Score! By her second trimester! Cece's sporting a baby bump and throwing up. Her teeth. Gross. The other sisters regard her with reverence and standing nun stare-downs, except for Gwen, the only one who treats her like a human being. Cecilia gets more unwanted attention in this half-a-sensory deprivation tank. She almost gets her senses permanently deprivated when Isabel interrupts tubby time and tries to drown her out of Dolph Ziggler-like jealousy. She's rescued at the last minute, and Isabel's attack is blamed on mental illness. Later in the courtyard, she sees a body fall off the top of a building in true Damien Nanny style. Oh man, that face is fucked up!
Isabel!
Hey, thank you for saying who that is, because I can't tell looking at that fucked up face. Production wanted Immaculate's horror to be grounded, so for Sister Isabel's fall, they consulted forensic photos. So it's not only hideous, it's also realistic. At Isabel's funeral, Gwen voices her suspicions.
Cecilia, you're 5 months pregnant and you haven't even been to a hospital.
When she tries to call out the church leaders and convince everyone this isn't okay, Gwen is dragged away in a swift suppression of dissent. It plants a seed of doubt in Cece, who questions the medical expertise of their shady inside medical man.
You're perfectly healthy.
I just puked up one of my teeth.
She tells them she wants to see an outside doctor, but they say she's got to keep her spermless baby a secret. Shh. While praying on her situation later that night, a holy jump scare reveals a message left by Sister Mary. It's a Bible verse implying things aren't right at the convent.
For Satan himself often masquerades as an angel of light.
It prompts Cecilia to do some digging around the property. She discovers a drawer containing suspicious research into her past. They maybe have known about her since she was 12 years old and wait, 2009? Oh fuck, I feel old. Worse yet, she discovers Gwen receiving a full-on inquisition, which ends with her tongue getting cut out of her mouth. Oh my god! They just show it all happening? Wow! I love that for them. I feel like I'm watching Saw. She's jump scared by her favorite spooky old lady, who offers her words of encouragement. Oh, discouragement, sorry. The next morning, everyone is awoken by a wailing. Cecilia is screaming bloody murder in a bloody bed. It sends them into a panic and finally gets her on the way to a real hospital. I mean, this is an emergency. Mother Superior's so sad, she cries into the sheets and ends up looking like a sloppy vampire. But Mother Superior jumped the gun, because this was chicken chicanery. Damn, Cece, you could have hidden that thing a little better than, plainly under the bed. Father Tedeschi gets the call before they make it to town, leading to a chase through the field. Damn, she is booking it! Looking like she's late to an Outlander audition. She'll never know if she got the part though, since the guys catch up to her and end her escape. They take her back to the convent where they punish her with a shower slap and bind her to a wheelchair. Tedeschi finalizes his heel turn by slipping on a pair of giallo gloves. While Immaculate is nowhere near a giallo film, it has ties to the Italian subgenre through the main location used for the convent, Villa Parisi, an early 17th century villa in Frascati, Rome. It was used for the mansion interior in Mario Bava's A Bay of Blood, which I've covered on this show. It was also used for the Red Queen kills 7 times, which Immaculate borrowed a music cue from as well, that harpsichordy bop during the montage. Tedeschi reveals that Cece's inception was less than immaculate, meaning we got bamboozled by this title. Turns out Tedeschi used his knowledge of biology to artificially inseminate her. He used DNA they pulled from that crucifixion nail.
Found blood, tissue, little fragments of bone, a genetic code. All we had to do was crack it.
Damn, might as well call this place Our Lady of InGen.
Bingo.
Jesus.
DNA.
With that DNA, they've been trying their best to make Jesus babies. Look, they've got barbershop jars full of them, the results of 20 years of failed attempts. I love this third act reveal that there's nothing supernatural here. It's all based in science. Plus, everything's out in the open now, and we've still got 30 minutes left of watching Cece try to escape this guy. Spanish actor Alvaro Morte is great at playing both sides of Tedeschi, the kindly priest and the mad scientist. To make sure their perfect fertile vessel doesn't run away again, they brand Cece's feet, giving her the same sorry souls she saw in the older nun. Oh man, that skin is sizzling. You know it smelled bad in there too. Wait a minute though, what's this guy's deal? He just chills down there all day, smoking a cig and playing with a poker until they bring him the next chick who needs branding? Cecilia's put in time out, where Sydney Sweeney gets Sydney screaming. As she enters her third trimester, Cecilia attends another confession with Cardinal Merola. She confronts him about how they've been targeting her since her accident. They haven't only taken away her agency and her body, but her entire life story as well. Merola says they want to bring on the apocalypse by creating the second coming of Jesus. Or maybe they ain't on the big man side at all, and they're doing all this for the other guy.
If this is not the will of God, why does God not stop us?
Either way, they're doing it. That leaves Cecilia losing her faith faster than she's losing fingernails. You should really stop picking at that, please. Mohan and his DP Alicia Christian, whom he met when they were roommates in college, wanted the film's look to have an arc that matched Cecilia's.
We degrade the image as her character's body is literally falling apart. We take the aesthetic and we make it grainier and we make it grittier, so you sort of lose that sense of the majesty of religion that we captured at the beginning to just pure, primal horror at the end.
While the sisters sing hymns in the courtyard, Cecilia is given another ultrasound. Damn man, that belly is bubbling. The doctor leaves Mother Superior alone for some one-on-one time with their embryonic messiah. Hey Mother Superior, knock knock, who's there? Hitch in the head with a crucifix. Cece beats her veil off and further beats her to the ground, then proceeds to beat her a total of 7 times, the holy number. Holy shit, her face is fucked up. Love that effect. Cecilia escapes, but she goes from breaking faces to breaking water.
God damn it.
Yeah, bad timing. Still, she moves on to her next target, Cardinal Merola. He's enjoying the singing nuns from his balcony when a rosary wraps around his neck. He has no time to say 50 Hail Marys before he's leaking rosary beads of blood and she breaks his neck. The murder is witnessed by the shady doctor who flees the scene. But don't worry, she'll catch up with him and... What? We never see him again? Well, that sucks. Cecilia grabs the Jesus nail and heads back to the lab. She prepares to let it burn. She wanna let it burn. She's interrupted by Tedeschi, but she fights him off with a bottle of science! She locks his ass inside, but he grabs her hair through the grate in the door. She manages to light the lab up, leaving Tedeschi to die in the raging inferno. But Tedeschi doesn't die. He uses a fire extinguisher to put out the flames and body checks the door down. Ha, that's dedication, Holmes. Cecilia flees to the lower levels of the convent, grabbing a flashlight and making her way into, you guessed it, the catacombs! Remember when I mentioned those in the beginning? Yeah, we're finally there! This catacombs climax wasn't originally in the screenplay, but they wrote it in during production after finding a real catacomb on a private estate just outside of Rome. They only had a day to shoot there and could only shoot for a little over an hour at a time. There wasn't a ton of oxygen to breathe, and the high humidity kept getting all the equipment wet. Mohan cites Barbarian as inspiration for the style down there, with point of view shots making things suspenseful. As Cecilia hides from Tedeschi, she discovers the rotting corpse of Sister Gwen. Aw, what's wrong? Catacomb got your tongue? She eventually finds an exit, a literal light at the end of a tunnel. She nearly reaches freedom, but she's pulled back by Father Toasty. Oh, he is all sorts of well done. Using a scalpel, he starts giving her a forcible C-section until she reaches for her Hail Mary, the convent's sacred nail. She uses it to puncture Tedeschi's neck, leaving him leaking communion wine all over the place. This is so funny and gross, and it's punctuated by his body falling on top of her. It's a comically brutal way for this bastard to die.
Fuck you.
Yeah, she said it. Cecilia's left completely exsanguinated, which was done by Sweeney's request.
My biggest request was by the end of the movie, I want to be drenched in blood.
She finally escapes outside, but her ordeal isn't over just yet. In a brutal extended close-up, this violent Virgin Mary finally gives birth to her joy to the world. Holy shit, Sweeney is really going for it here. They did 2 takes of this final shot, but wound up using the first one. For inspiration, Mohan showed Sweeney the infamous subway scene from Possession, illustrating that she could take things as far as she wanted. We don't see the baby she births, but it sounds, not right. The ambiguity is purposeful. This could be the Antichrist or a mutant of science. Either way, the 3-minute one-take continues as Cecilia grabs a nearby heavy rock. The movie ends as she flattens her newborn off-screen, shocking many an audience member. How many nuns got into the habit of dying? Let's find out and get to... Sorry. Let's find out and get to... I got this, okay. Let's find out and get to... 8 people died in Immaculate. There were 2 male victims, 5 female victims, and 1 baby who died before its gender reveal party. That gives us this Passion of the Pie chart. With a runtime of 89 minutes, Immaculate had a kill on average every 11.13 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Sister Isabel. We've seen plenty of people fall to their deaths on this show, but rarely is the end result so gruesome. Dome machete for lamest kill will go to the patient that died during the montage. And that's it! Immaculate was released in 2024, the week before Holy Week, and it broke Neon's record for biggest opening weekend. We'll keep exploring evil next week, but until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count.
In a small Argentinian town, something has gone rotten. It's up to 2 idiot brothers to stop this new form of evil, a possession that spreads like a pandemic. And just like a pandemic, containment is hard when people don't trust each other or the institutions meant to protect them. From filmmaker Damien Rugna, When Evil Lurks is a gorgeously shot película that shows what happens when people disregard safety protocols. Yeah, probably at the Dead Meat Horror Awards, where it did so well, fans started calling it When Evil Sweeps. But it deserved the wins thanks to its emotional performances, top-tier practical effects, and some of the best kills of the year. Like the winner of Best Kill. You know, the part where... Okay. Find out for yourself this week by watching When Evil Lurks. Then on Friday, get naked at your ex-wife's house. Oh, sorry, I mean watch the Kill Count, only on Dead Meat.
Papi va a venir a casa en el auto y pum.
Evil Lurks can currently be watched on the pictured streaming platforms. Dead Meat always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Thanks a lot for watching this Immaculate Kill Count. I mean, kill count for the movie Immaculate. It's not like a perfect kill count. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. We've been on a roll this year. Sorry I don't have a fun little outfit for this one. I just, I don't know, didn't feel like wearing a habit. And I was already priest in The Exorcist, you know? Our final version of this script didn't mention The First Omen, but yeah, it's weird that The First Omen and Immaculate came out within like the same month, and they're very similar movies. What's cool though is that I really like both of them. Even though they're so similar, they offer different flavors of horror. If you like The First Omen, check out our interview with director Arkasha Stevenson over on Scream Dreams. I feel like I gotta plug that more. There are so many great interviews with lots of awesome horror people. They're done by me and Catherine Corcoran and Barbara Crampton. So watch those videos and subscribe to that channel. Thanks everyone, be good people. Thanks to Scentbird for sponsoring today's episode. Use 55 Dead Meat to get 55% off your first month at Scentbird.